If I didn't introduce Melania, she'd be very happy about it.
Donald Gonzalez seems to be having a rough patch lately. Rumor has it that Grump's antics have put a strain on his relationship with Melania. I mean, who would want to stick around with a guy who can't even stay faithful to his wife and ends up cozying up to Stormy Daniels? And to top it off, Stormy claims that after their little rendezvous, Trump had the nerve to compare her to his own daughter. That's just plain creepy if you ask me. He should be in jail for that kind of behavior. But Jimmy Kimmel isn't one to let a juicy moment slip by without a good jab. During a campaign rally where Melania was nowhere to be seen, Kimmel wasted no time in pointing out the obvious. Looks like Trump won't be getting any quality time with Melania anytime soon, and guess what? It turns out Melania has dumped him and isn't showing up to his rallies. Looks like the Grump's love life is hitting a rough patch faster than you can say fake news. But this rift didn't just happen overnight. Even during previous Valentine's Days, while every other former president, including Obama, was enjoying romantic moments with his wife, Trumpy was left to sleep alone. Jimmy Kimmel has made a comedic blockbuster out of those lonely Valentine's moments, and let's just say Trumpy isn't exactly thrilled with the portrayal. He's still giving Jimmy the replies, probably hoping that if he replees to him long enough, the jokes will just disappear. But hey, when you're as thin-skinned as Trumpy, even a Valentine's Day roast can leave you feeling a little deflated. What was he doing on Valentine's Day, you ask? Probably staring at a bouquet of roses while Melania dumped him and left him all alone in his bedroom, and then, in true Trumpy fashion, he took to Twitter to vent his frustrations. His tweet read, "Biden is not too old, he's too incompetent." Ah, the classic deflection technique. When faced with your own shortcomings, just throw shade at your opponent. Looks like Trumpy's suffering from a severe case of Biden nightmare syndrome.
Donald Trump posted a romantic message today. He wrote, "Biden is not too old, he's too incompetent." As close as he gets to telling somebody he loves him.
But hey, who needs a Valentine's date when you've got Twitter to argue with, right? But Jimmy Kimmel didn't stop here. He took Donut Rump to the cleaners.
"Dear Melania, I love you. Even after every single indictment, arrest, and witch hunt, you never left my side."
How romantic, right? Nothing says "I love you" quite like reminding your spouse of all the legal troubles you've dragged them through. It's like saying, "I promise to stand by you as long as you stand by me in court." If that's not true love, I don't know what is.
There's a little box where you can leave a message for Melania. It says, "We want 100,000 responses now," and of course a button to make a donation to St. Violent Crimes Legal Defense Fund. It's
The Dear Melania message with a twist. Without your guidance, kindness, and warmth, don't blame her for what happened to you. It's like Trumpy's trying to win back some brownie points after all the chaos he's caused. And then there's that little box where you can leave a message from Melania. I can only imagine what kind of responses they're expecting. Probably a mix of eye rolls and sarcastic thank you notes. And of course, there's the button to make a donation to the St. Violent Crimes Legal Defense Fund, because nothing says "I love you" like contributing to your spouse's legal defense fund, am I right? It's like the gift that keeps on giving, straight from the heart of Trumpy Tower.
the last time Trump endorsed a blonde this unqualified for office was when he endorsed himself, actually.
But how did Trump respond? Obviously by ranting on Twitter. Rantaclaus said to remove Jimmy from the TV. It's like clockwork. Instead of taking the high road or addressing the concerns like a mature adult, Trump unleashes his wrath in 280 characters or less. And in this case, it seems he's decided to play the role of Rantaclaus, demanding that Jimmy Kimmel be removed from television.
They could get a far more talented person who would also get better ratings for 5% of what they are paying this loser with a capital L. And I gotta say, that is a hell of a way to find out you're not gonna be somebody's running mate.
It's a classic Trump move. When faced with criticism or mockery, he lashes out, trying to silence his critics instead of engaging in constructive dialogue. But let's be real, trying to silence Jimmy Kimmel is like trying to stop a hurricane with an umbrella.
When they take away his phone in prison, so I'm gonna really soak it in. He has no idea how delighted I am by something like this. I'm going to try to enjoy it because he probably won't be able to do this.
It's not going to happen. Trump's obsession with controlling the media narrative is no secret. He loves to play the victim card, painting himself as the target of unfair treatment from the fake news media. But the truth is, Trump thrives on attention, even if it's negative. And Jimmy Kimmel, well, he's just doing what comedians do best.
Laura has vowed to spend every single penny on electing Donald Trump. Trump has endorsed his daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, to be co-chair of the Republican National Committee. The chair of the RNC is in charge of where all the money that gets donated goes.
Poking fun at those in power and holding them accountable for their actions. So while Trump may rant and rave on Twitter, the show must go on, and Jimmy Kimmel will continue to do what he does best, making us laugh and keeping the powers that be in check. As for Trump, well, maybe he should consider taking a break from Twitter and focusing on, actually running the country. Just a thought. If a guy can't handle his wife cheating, how can he be loyal to this country? That's the question on everyone's minds as we watch Trump's presidency unravel like a ball of yarn in the paws of a particularly determined kitten. Let's break it down, shall we? First off, let's talk about loyalty. Trump seems to think it's a one-way street. Everyone should be loyal to him, but he doesn't need to return the favor.
You know, a lot of first ladies, we go out, they want to be everywhere. They get angry at their husband because he's not introducing them. She loves the country. You know, when I do rallies, I have so many signs. We love our first lady. The people love her. They love the fact that she's not out there so much.
Just ask his former allies who he's thrown under the bus faster than you can say covfefe. If he can't even be loyal to his own wife, how can we expect him to be loyal to this country? Then there's the criticism. Trump loves to dish it out, but he can't take it. Just look at his Twitter feed. It's like a never-ending stream of insults and tantrums. He criticizes judges. He poisons the public discourse with his divisive rhetoric, and don't even get me started on his mind-boggling Capitol Hill riots. If he can't handle a little criticism without throwing a temper tantrum, how can we trust him to lead this country? And let's not forget about his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. Calling it the Chinese virus was just the tip of the iceberg. He downplayed the severity of the situation, ignored the advice of experts, and politicized mask wearing. Thousands of lives could have been saved if he had taken this crisis seriously from the start. Then there's his immigration policy, separating families at the border, putting kids in cages. It's like something out of a dystopian nightmare. And don't even get me started on his trade wars and his relationship with Europe. It's a mess, plain and simple. Now let's compare that to Biden. Say what you will about the guy, but at least he's consistent. He's been married to the same woman for over 40 years, and you don't hear about any cheating scandals from him. He's not perfect, but he's a far cry from the dumpster fire that is the Trump administration. Biden knows how to handle criticism with grace and dignity. He listens to experts, he respects the rule of law, and he's not afraid to admit when he's made a mistake. He's the kind of leader we need right now, one who puts the country above his own ego. And when it comes to the COVID-19 pandemic, Biden has a plan. He's not afraid to listen to scientists and public health experts, and he's committed to getting this virus under control once and for all. He understands the importance of unity and empathy, and he knows that we're all in this together. As for immigration, Biden has promised to reunite families at the border and create a fair and humane immigration system. He believes in treating immigrants with dignity and respect, and he's committed to fixing the broken system that Trump has only made worse. And when it comes to foreign policy, Biden understands the importance of building relationships with our allies and standing up to our adversary. He's not going to cozy up to dictators or alienate our allies. He's going to work to restore America's standing on the world stage. In short, Trump is a mess, and Biden is the steady hand we need to steer this country back on course. So come November, let's make the right choice and vote for Joe Biden. Our country's future depends on it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel so we could make America more democratic and free.